Well, joining us now is Raz Matalon, the brother-in-law of Yossi and Eli Sharabi, two hostages held by Hamas in Gaza. So before we get to your message, I'd like you to tell us a bit about your family members who are being held captive, what happened to them, and then we'll get to what we know now.
Well, we have two of my brothers-in-law captives kidnapped here in Gaza. One of them, Yossi, that I assume that most of you heard about the fact that he was killed by mistake by our Air Force attack, and he is now kept. His body is kept over there, and Eli also been kidnapped, and we don't know anything about him. Just praying for him to come back home. His family, Eli's family, was murdered. His wife, Lian, and his two daughters, Noya and Yael. And Yossi's family were rescued, thankfully. And now we are all together trying to fight to bring Yossi's body back home to have a proper funeral as he should have, and to bring Eli back to our family, and to try to help him to cope and for the rest of his life to be his family.
It's just, I mean, horrific circumstances for your family. And I think that for many families of the hostages, just like your own, you're very much stuck between a rock and a hard place in terms of what happens next, who you need to pressure in terms of getting your families back. What does your family want to see happen right now?
Really, our family is doing a lot. Here in Israel and around the world, we met the Qatari negotiator, and we met many leaders around the world, but right now we are looking towards our leaders and try to listen to them and try to understand whether they are really with their heart and mind doing the best they can to speak on behalf of our loved ones and bring them home back. And as you can hear, lately there are people that are speaking from our government, and they making us really feel unsafe and not really knowing if they are really doing the best they can. Mm-hmm. Everyone heard what Smotrich said just a few days ago, and it really makes us feel the anxiety and really not knowing what to do next.
There is,
I don't know.
You know, there's a massive push for a hostage release deal, but also there are many who don't want to see a stop to the fighting. Where do the hostage families stand on this? I mean, obviously we saw 3 hostages who were rescued successfully by the IDF, but obviously, you know, there were terrible casualties like what happened to your brother-in-law, Yossi Sharabi. Yeah. So I can imagine your feelings are very confused.
Yeah. Listen, if I could ask a question to our government, I would ask them, are you the leaders of your people that is really suffering the worst time since the establishment of our state, or are you our negotiator? I expect them to be our leader. I understand that us standing on our rights and shout on behalf of our loved ones and plead for their release from the hell they are going through is making them feel uncomfortable. I don't know, maybe Eli and Yossi should say, I'm sorry for being kidnapped. I don't really understand, but I expect the negotiation to take place behind closed doors. We need the negotiator to be tough and smart and creative, but first of all, be there for us. In the negotiation. This is something that leads to uncertainty, and we cannot really believe what is really going on over there. At the same time, we need leaders that will be compassionate and responsible, and will be with their heart open for their suffering people, that we have put our trust on them and they failed us. So I think now they are failing as a negotiator and as a leaders. This is what I feel right now.
You mentioned Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich and what he said.
Yeah.
Bringing hostages home is not the main goal. Those are the comments that you were referring to. What is your answer to him?
Yeah. Listen, there's two choices. One, that it slipped from his mouth without even thinking too much. If so, really, it's making me feel very worried. After our leaders failed to prevent the attack that led to the death of 4 members of my family, by doing absolutely everything but what was needed to be done. These are the same leaders who don't see themselves as responsible for nothing. And the other choice is that he speaks openly about what he really believes, expressing maybe what other things, but not saying it out loud. He is actually being honest. This will not be the first time for him to speak openly about his belief and making our entire government and country embarrassed. So I don't really want to stay on this point. I mean, I think I said enough.
Yeah, so that brings me to my final question for you right now. What message do you want to send to the world, to everybody who is listening right now from abroad?
Yeah. This is what I want to really to use these moments, because the glue that binds us together is really in danger. This is what I feel. Anyone who doesn't see it is either short-sighted or doesn't want to see. Even our enemies know this. You don't have to conquer land to destroy the society. This was the idea behind the kidnapping of innocent children and monstrous rape that was caught on camera and sent all wide world to spread fear and melt the glue that binds us together. The answer to that is what I believe is what you see among our soldiers. It calls brotherhood. We long for it. Everyone longs for it. That's why everyone unites around the return of the kidnapped. This is also what our soldiers dreamed of. So I want to send everyone, just think about the brotherhood that bring together our soldiers and try to act accordingly. We want to stand behind them and to show them that next time, if it will be their children, we will be there for them. This is the only thing that can save us, to be together as brothers, like our soldiers.
All right. Well, Raz Matalon, I first of all, I send my condolences to you for everything that has happened, and I'm praying that we are going to see your brother-in-law released alive, along with the body of your other brother-in-law, Yossi. And I hope that the world hears your message, and really just thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.